Okay, right, let's talk about the real side of being self-employed, shall we? Because people often ask me what it's like running my own business and how I stay organised. Whether I ever switch off and if I spend all day floating around in a zen-like state with a cup of herbal tea. Spoiler alert, no, I don't. So, in this video, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions I get asked about working for myself, sharing what really does go on behind the scenes, and of course, giving you a few tips along the way. And let's get onto it, or into it, shall we say. So, number one, how do you stay organised and keep on top of everything when you work for yourself? Oof. So, the answer to that is for me, it's all about structure. I structure everything. I schedule my social media posts in advance. I set clear working times for myself between 9 and 6, and I use tools like the automated messages and the iPhone focus setting to create my boundaries. I treat this business like it is a job, and because it is one, I plan ahead to keep things flowing smoothly, and I do stick to schedules, which means I'm productive without burning myself out. Being self-employed doesn't mean working all the time. It just means we've got to be a bit smart. Number two, how do you stay motivated when you don't have a boss telling you what to do? Well, that's a pretty easy answer, isn't it? I am the boss, and I actually quite like her. So I stay motivated by having clear goals, structure, that comes into this a lot, as I said earlier, scheduling, and knowing that if I don't show up, who the hell is going to do it? I also work with systems that keep me accountable, and whether it's planning my social media in advance, setting deadlines, or simply reminding myself that my business runs because I run it. Motivation isn't about waiting for the inspiration. It's about the discipline. That's as far as I believe. So, number three, isn't it risky not having a guaranteed income? Well, absolutely. Of course it is. But being self-employed does come with its ups and downs. But I manage that by being proactive, planning ahead, diverting my income streams, and staying organised. But I also have to acknowledge that all of this, if I didn't have the love and the support of my husband, my family, they all play a huge part in making this all possible, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Having people who believe in you and what you do encourage me, and who understand the ebb and flow of running a business makes all the difference. And yes, self-employment requires resilience, but having that support system behind me is just as important as a business strategy. So let's go to number four. Do you ever switch off, or are you 24/7? I do switch off. I never used to, but I do now. So I absolutely switch off. As I said, I have my firm boundaries between 9 and 6. That is my work time. And I don't answer messages or emails. So if you're trying to get through and you're not a close member of the family or close friend and it's work, then my phone shuts down. And it's not to be rude, it's either that or I will be completely glued to it all the time. So that's why that is doing what it's doing. So I make sure I walk my talk, and we say this to our clients, prioritise your balance. So I need to do the same. Number five, what's the best thing about being self-employed? Well, the freedom to shape my own day. I can choose how I structure my time, who I work with, and how I grow my business. I find it quite empowering. And I know that the efforts directly create results. Plus, let's be honest, being able to take a lunchtime walk when you choose and not needing to ask for time off, that's a win in my book. But of course, with all the ups also come the downs. So the question was, what's one of the biggest downsides of being self-employed? So one of the biggest challenges is you have to wear all the hats. There's no IT department to fix things when tech goes wrong. There is no payroll team to sort your finances out. And there's no boss to take responsibility when things go a bit peaked on. It can be overwhelming at times, and especially when trying to balance everything. But I'm going to say the key is learning to delegate when needed, setting boundaries, that famous word boundaries, and remembering why I started this in the first place. Yes, there are tough days, but the freedom and fulfillment of doing what I love make it all worth it. So, that's a tinsy wincy peek behind the curtain of self-employment. I would imagine there is so much more to it than that. So it's not all herbal teas and midday walks. There are challenges, but there's also so much freedom and fulfillment. Creating your own business that truly aligns with who you are. And with that adieu, I'm going to send a huge thank you to everyone who sent in those questions. I love sharing the reality of working for myself, the ups and the downs. And if you found this helpful or just had a little laugh along the way, let me know in the comments. And if you've got any more questions about self-employment, energy work, or anything in between, send them my way and I'd love to do more of these. Well, I don't like being behind the camera, if I'm being brutally honest, but hey-ho, that's what we have to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.